What's going on, guys? So in this video, I'm going to be going over and walking you guys through what my 2019 resolutions and goals are and kind of how I plan on achieving those goals and why they're so important to me, along with, kind of giving you insight as to how I plan to really hold myself credible for it. So definitely by, me documenting it here on YouTube and between, giving you guys monthly updates if you guys would be interested in, I'm going to be, kind of holding myself accountable to all of these goals I set for myself so that way I don't fall victim to everybody else that sets a New Year's resolution and kind of fails out within a month of doing so. So this is just kind of my, special treat to you guys and just the end of the year video that I wanted to go over, and I hope you guys get some use out of this. If you guys are just tuning in for the first time, my name is Dan and this is Millennial Investing, and this channel is pretty much a documentation on my financial journey and where I document what are my thoughts and ideas going on with the current marketplace and different investments, side hustles, different streams of income, and anything like that that I am either currently working on or plan on doing, in the foreseeable future. And so that way, if anybody is either, around my age and just starting out in their financial journey, they can kind of, follow along and see where I failed and, what I learned from it, or say if it worked out exactly what I did, so that way you can maybe replicate what I'm doing. So no way is any of this advice, but it's just kind of my documentation of what's going on. So without further ado, let's just get in the video. So as a quick rundown of my, goals for 2019, I pretty much broke them down into 4 major buckets. And so now you have personal finance, self-improvement or investing in yourself, what I want to be doing with this YouTube channel, and then my personal academics, because I am a college student and the academics are kind of very relevant to my life. And so I just kind of wanted to make a couple of goals for that as well. So getting into personal finance goals. So personally, I have just been ending my co-op that just happened. I was working at an investment bank. I will find out sooner or later whether I'm able to disclose what investment bank I was working for. We had to sign a confidentiality agreement when I left. So who knows exactly what I can say. Maybe I'll be able to tell you guys what it was like working for a financial institution in the future. But for right now, I just can't really disclose any of that information yet. But I plan on getting another co-op or internship through my university, or, just kind of on my own, because I really want to get my feet wet and really expand my skill set and make myself more valuable to the marketplace. I currently also want to have a goal of saving up $10K as far as a safety net. So this is not going into, say, a investment account. This is just $10K in cash that I want to have in addition to my current cash by the end of 2019. And some of you watching this are looking at that and say, well, I can make $10K in just a couple of months and save it away. I'm currently 22 and, coming by about $10K of extra money when I'm, paying for college, paying for, a car, place to live, everything like that. It's rather difficult, at least in my current situation, so I'm just pretty much having that as a focus on top of everything, all the investments and everything I do. I just want to have that type of a safety net, especially when you're someone that's trying to work in the financial institution and we just entered a bear market. So who knows how lucrative my jobs will be in the next couple of years. So I just kind of want to make that cushion. And then I also want to make attempt to make multiple streams of income that are, kind of new to me and that I haven't been doing currently. So the first one would definitely be monetizing my YouTube channel. That is essentially, I'm just going to be continuing to do what I have been doing forever and then just eventually hit the subscriber count and then, start getting ad revenue off of YouTube. That would be nice. And I'm not saying that that's not really what I'm banking on and making a lot of money off of, but it would be nice to, get paid for doing, what I do here on YouTube. I also plan on becoming more active in selling things on eBay. So I just recently started reselling things on eBay for the first time ever, and it was surprisingly pretty easy. I was kind of shocked with how easy it was to sell things. Like I was selling a couple of electronics. I pretty much undercut the standard market selling price by about $5, and it sold within 3 hours. So, if you guys are interested in any of that, I can make a video about how I go about it. What I've done so far on eBay, but I definitely plan on doing, more active, buying and selling things from like, say, garage sales or, any, blockbuster discount type thing, and then just selling it on to, eBay and just trying to make some quick profit that way. Craigslist is also another option. And I also plan on tutoring students. I'm currently a college student again, and I'm in finance and information systems, and I am pretty much at the top of my class in those classes normally. So me teaching students, I prefer to actually teach people when I, have just learned a new concept because it helps me cement it in my own head. But if I could pay for students, that are struggling and then kind of guide them to get their A and then me get compensated accordingly, I think would be a great win-win for me and other college students. And then I also plan on cutting my monthly budget by about 10%. Now, I live pretty frugally enough as it is, but as we all know, there's always some loose change or some dollars you can cut off of your budget, and some things that, are really just wants and not really necessarily needs that can be cut out of the equation. And I think that'll help me get my 10K savings goal, by the end of the year. So in the self-improvement category, I have definitely wanted to do this for quite a while, but when I was working at the investment bank, it was very difficult for me to really have any energy outside of the day. You know, if you live that 9-to-5 life for a long period of time, you really start to like kind of deteriorate your motive for doing things, you know, between doing about 40 hours of stock research a week, working 40 hours a week, and, you know, trying to run this YouTube channel and do other things on my personal settings. My exercising and my gym time have definitely suffered because of it. And so I used to be a pretty avid bodybuilder and powerlifter, and so I definitely want to get back into that and really transform my body to the kind of pudginess that you see right before you. I plan on doing a complete 180 within a couple of months, let alone by the end of 2019. So that'll be interesting, and I also want to significantly cut down on my junk food and fast food intake. This will, one, help my wallet, and this will also help my physique. So, you know, it's a win-win situation. I also plan on increasing my reading quota from 20 books that I read last year and the year before to about 30 books. Now, some of you might be saying, well, that requires a lot of time, and it does, but I am very interested in reading and learning about new things, especially about finance, and I've also started to really branch into history more and more. So, you know, increasing, you know, about 10 books in a year, I definitely think I can do, and I think it will help me, you know, as a person and, you know, as an investor, whatever type of life you're in. I think reading can help you in any which way, shape, or form. So that's something I really want to focus on. And then I also plan on, you know, eventually if I can get a course, say, through my class or, you know, just discounted through a university, taking public speaking lessons and, you know, or a course, mainly because, as you guys are pretty well aware, I'm not the best public speaker. I'm definitely not the worst, but there's definitely room for improvement there. And I think if I want to continue my YouTube channel or possibly, you know, take individual clients, you know, once I become a, say, a financial advisor or anything like that, because that's the path I'm currently going down, I definitely need to be able to communicate my ideas and everything better to my clients and individuals. So that's going to be on a top priority list for me in the next year. Now, looking at my goals for YouTube, it's relatively straightforward. I obviously want to gain monetization. So, you know, I'm just under about 700 subscribers as of recording this video. And so I need to have 1,000 subscribers and over 4K hours in watch time. And I definitely think that that's achievable over the next couple of months. But ideally, I want to hit a minimum of 3K subscribers by the end of next year. I know that some people, you know, it's kind of a lottery between on how fast their channel grows and things like that. I know some people that have had amazing channels for multiple years, and, you know, they're just barely hitting the 10K bracket. And then some people, you know, they start a channel, and then within, say, 6 months, they're already looking at 10K subscribers. So hopefully, you know, I hope 3K is definitely doable. I think it's doable based off of my current growth rate. But who knows what happens. I plan on also creating courses for new investors and people just starting out in their financial journey. Now, this isn't supposed to be, you know, these courses that I'm talking about, I don't believe are going to be, you know, like the type that you see on other YouTube channels that are like, okay, here's $500 for an investing course, because it's pretty much just summarizing 10 investment books. Here you go. I might do a paid course in the future, but essentially I want to make courses that are free to the public, because the main reason why I started this channel was to give kind of financial literacy to the average person. Because the way I look at it is like, unless I'm, you know, extremely successful, I can't really justify people paying money to hear what I'm talking about for investments. So these are mainly focused on free courses that I just kind of want to give out to my subscribers and other people that I meet that say that, oh, I'm interested in stocks. And well, I can either talk to you for about 6 hours right now. You can look at all of my videos on YouTube, or I can just give you this course link, and hopefully that'll help them from there. So that's just something I kind of want to do for, not necessarily through the YouTube channel, but kind of on my personal, you know, vendetta to help people just kind of get a more financial understanding of what's going on in their lives. And then I also really want to focus on the type of video content that I'm producing here on YouTube. And I want to make sure that you guys are getting the most value as possible. So obviously, you know, there have been a couple of videos I've made that are very, like, you know, wish-washy, based off of news. And, you know, they got relatively good views, but in all honesty, you know, for me personally, I think they could have been done better. So I definitely want to be, you know, focused on more quality over quantity for the future videos that I'm producing. And so let me know if you guys, you know, if any video that you guys think isn't up to snuff, let me know in the comment section down below. And if there's any video that you guys think is, you know, top notch and you want more of this, make sure to let me know that too, because it will really help me, and it will also help you, because I'll try to focus on exactly what you like and what you don't like for my future videos. And so finally, academics. So I am, you know, currently finishing up my senior year here in college, and I am planning on getting straight A's through this semester and the next semester, the couple classes I need to take. I got pushed back because of my co-op. But I plan on graduating with magna cum laude, which is, for those of you that don't know, it's whenever your GPA is above 3.5. And, so that looks really good on a resume and everything like that, especially if I try to get into grad school. So I definitely want to, kind of solidify my GPA being there. Right now I'm on track to it, but if I get all A's, I'm definitely guaranteed for it. So we'll see how that goes. And then another thing that I plan on doing, and that I hope that anybody else who's watching this that is in college really takes advantage of, I started doing it last year, but I definitely want to do it, continue it this year, is really taking advantage of all the resources that you have at school. Now, as we all know, price of college is through the roof, and in all honesty, if you're just going there and going to the class and leaving at the end of the day and then taking the test at the end of the year, you're not really getting your best bang for your buck. However, if you go to a school like I do, there are a lot of different, avenues that you can go to either tap knowledge, acquire better skills, or even start a company. So for my school personally, we were just given a Bloomberg terminal station. So that means that we have about 60 machines that are all Bloomberg terminals that are open to the students. They have massive, wall-to-wall screens. They have the ticker channel on the top of the ceiling. And they have instructors there to kind of teach you how to use all these terminals, and you also gain certifications. I'm personally Bloomberg Terminal certified. Essentially, all that means is that you're able to use a Bloomberg terminal, adequately, and you're able to find information and whatnot. But that is a relatively valuable skill, especially when you're going, say if you're going in the finance route. Just walking in the door and already having experience with a multi-$1,000 piece of equipment, it's a nice perk to have above, your competition. So that's something I really want to, use more for my personal setting, but also really fine-tune those skills. So that way an employer could potentially, just hire me right away and plot me on a terminal and watch me go to work. Another thing I want to focus on is really getting a better connection with my professors that have a lot of, say, resources and a lot of experience that they can kind of give to me. So for me personally, I have had professors that have been currently working in hedge funds. One of them owns a hedge fund, the other one works for that same hedge fund, so that's kind of interesting. And I have a class with more of them in next semester, so I'm definitely going to be kind of tapping their brain for, their thoughts on what's going on in the market, what they think, about X, Y, and Z stock, things like that. I currently work pretty closely with a professor that currently works at the Federal Reserve. I can't really disclose too much about that, obviously, but he works at the Federal Reserve, and it's pretty interesting, and I've worked on many, economic projects with him, so that's pretty interesting. I also have a couple of professors that are ex-money managers for mega corporations that are in the S&P. So between Stanley Black & Decker and a couple of other kind of wish-washy tech-based companies that, they were much bigger in the 90s, but now they're just kind of still stuck around in the low bracket of the S&P 500. Talking to them about, what the real-world experience is with dealing with, these mega billion-dollar budgets is something that I've always found really interesting, and something I don't think I can really get anywhere else except for a one-on-one conversation. So, I get them coffee every now and again, and we chat, for a couple hours after class, and it's just a really valuable, experience, and I think that alone is worth the amount of money I'm paying for college. Whether or not it turns to anything, fruitful down the line, who knows, but I think that experience is something I couldn't get anywhere else. And then also, my school is pretty lucky because we have a startup incubator within it. So I have started 2 startups now, and I've been, going through round funding and things like that. And while I have, at this point in time, no longer continue with those startups, I was able to, pitch my idea, pitch it to venture capitalists and things like that they would connect with this school and they would bring them in. And, I'd compete against 60 other teams. And thankfully, I won all the competitions I was in. I won at least some type of monetary prize. And so that type of experience is, again, something you just can't get unless you do it. So I plan on doing that again this year with another venture. And hopefully, hey, if it works out, it doesn't. But if not, I'm connecting with amazing people that, are running their own multi-million-dollar businesses. And also that experience whenever I want to go out with a group of people and start my own company again, because I definitely want to become an entrepreneur. I think it's a great way to do it, and I think I'm not going to get those skills anyplace else. So those are all my goals for 2019. They're pretty clear cut as to, self-improvement, focusing on money, cutting down expenses, things like that. But I just thought I'd share it with you guys, so this way will also, one, make me not fall as, the 90% of people that fail to actually meet their New Year's resolutions. This way I can document it. You guys can keep me accountable. I'll keep myself accountable by documenting it along the way. And hopefully this inspires you guys to maybe take some of these steps and really, maybe set a goal for yourself for 2019. And if you guys do have a goal, again, make sure to let me know in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear what you guys want, and then maybe I can make some content around it. And that's about it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.